If you've been trying to heal your relationship with food for months or even years and you keep falling back into the same patterns, the Sunday night binges, the Monday morning restrictions, the constant mental chatter about what you should or shouldn't eat, well, there's probably nothing wrong with you, with your willpower or your discipline, and there's probably nothing wrong with your motivation either. What is missing is the foundation. You see, most women try to build food freedom on shaky ground. They jump straight into new eating habits or mindset work without creating the 3 pillars that make lasting change possible. And that is exactly why they keep falling down. In last week's video, we talked about the woman you're becoming in 2026. Today, I'm going to show you how to build the unshakable foundation that allows her to exist. Because here's the truth, you can't think your way into food freedom. You can't willpower your way there either. You have to build it from the ground up. Now, welcome back to part 2 of the Get Ready for 2026 series. Last week, as I mentioned, we talked about the identity shift of becoming the woman who naturally trusts herself around food. And if you've missed that video, make sure you go back and watch it because today's foundation work builds directly up on those concepts. Because today we're diving deep into the 3 pillars that have to be in place so that lasting food freedom can actually happen. And I'm warning you now, this isn't what most people teach. Then next week, we're getting specific about breaking the Sunday night binge cycle once and for all. In our final week of this series, I will give you the 3 non-negotiables that will determine whether 2026 is different or just more of the same in terms of food freedom. If you're just joining us, make sure you grab the binge-free 2026 starter kit that I created for this series specifically. The link is down in the description below. But now let's talk about why most approaches of food freedom fail. Here's what I see happening all the time. A woman decides she's ready to heal her relationship with food, so she starts with what seems logical. She tries to change her eating habits. Maybe she decides to eat more intuitively, or she tries to stop restricting, or she attempts to eat when she's hungry and stop when she's full. And for a few days, maybe even a few weeks, it works. But then life happens. She gets stressed at work, she has a fight with her partner, she feels overwhelmed by her to-do list. And suddenly she's deep into a bag of chips, wondering why that happened again after all that progress. Well, here's what happened. She tried to build food freedom without a foundation to support it. It's like trying to build a house on sand. No matter how beautiful the house is, it's going to crumble when the first storm hits. And I did this for years. I read about intuitive eating and think, well, this is it. This is the answer. And I tried to implement it immediately. Also thinking that this is the one thing, right? But my nervous system was still dysregulated from years of dieting. My body didn't trust that food would be available consistently. And I had no tools for handling my emotions other than food. So of course I kept falling back into old patterns because the foundation wasn't there. So what is that foundation that I'm talking about? It's the 3 pillars that work together to create unshakable food freedom. Pillar 1 is nervous system safety. Your nervous system is the control center for everything. Your hunger cues, your stress response, your ability to make conscious choices around food. When your nervous system is dysregulated, you're operating from survival mode. Your brain's only job is to keep you alive. It's not thinking about your long-term goals or your food freedom journey. It's thinking, get the calories, store the energy, survive. This is why you can have all the knowledge in the world about nutrition and still find yourself binging at night. That's like 100% how I used to be. Because your nervous system is overriding your conscious mind. Most women who struggle with food have nervous systems that are stuck in fight or flight mode. Maybe it's from years of dieting and restriction. Maybe it's from chronic stress. Maybe it's from trauma. But until you create safety in your nervous system, your body will keep using food as a way to regulate. Now, how do you create nervous system safety is probably the question. Well, first you have to prove to your body that food is abundant and available. This means eating consistently throughout the day, even when you're not perfectly hungry. It means having foods you enjoy regularly, not just on special occasions. Second, you need tools for regulation that aren't food. This could be breath work, gentle movement, time in nature, or even just placing your hand on your heart and taking 3 deep breaths. Then third, you need to address the underlying stressors in your life. And I'm not saying you need to quit your job or end your relationship, but you need to acknowledge what's keeping your nervous system activated and find ways to support yourself. Then pillar number 2, metabolic trust. This is the pillar most people skip, and it's why they stay stuck. Your metabolism isn't just about how many calories you burn. It's about how your body processes and uses energy. And if your metabolism is damaged from years of dieting, your body is going to fight against food freedom. So here's what happens when your metabolism is broken. Your hunger cues are all over the place. You're either not hungry at all, you're ravenously hungry at random time. Your energy crashes throughout the day, especially in the afternoon. You crave sugar and carbs constantly because your body is desperately trying to get that quick energy. You feel cold all the time, your hair is thinning, and you're exhausted even after a full night's sleep. And here's the big one. Your body holds on to weight no matter what you do because it thinks that you're in a famine. You cannot build food freedom on a broken metabolism. Your body will keep using food as medicine because it's trying to heal itself. So how do you rebuild metabolic trust? Well, first you have to eat enough. I know this sounds scary if you're worried about weight gain, but your body needs adequate fuel to repair your metabolism. Then second, you need to support your hormones, especially your thyroid, insulin, and cortisol. This may even mean working with a practitioner who understands metabolic healing. Then third, you need to be patient. Metabolic healing takes time. It can take months or even years to fully repair the damage from chronic dieting. But here's what I want you to understand. You can start feeling better immediately. You don't have to wait for your metabolism to be perfect to experience more food freedom. Your body may prioritize restoring internal functions like hormone production, energy levels, etc. before releasing stored weight. This is actually a sign that healing is happening, even if the scale isn't moving yet. It's different for everyone, and that's why I always recommend on focusing on how you feel versus how you look, especially at the beginning. Then moving on to pillar 3, emotional capacity. This is the pillar that determines whether you will be able to maintain your food freedom long term. Emotional capacity is your ability to feel and process emotions without needing to escape, numb, or fix them immediately. Most women who struggle with food have very low emotional capacity, not because they're weak or broken, but because they were never taught how to handle big emotions. So when stress, sadness, anger, or even excitement show up, their nervous system goes into overdrive and food becomes the fastest way to regulate. But here's the thing about emotions. They're not actually dangerous, they're just energy moving through your body. And when you have the capacity to feel them without immediately reacting, food loses its power as a coping mechanism. Building emotional capacity isn't about becoming emotionless or never feeling overwhelmed. It's about expanding your ability to be with whatever shows up, to just sit with that emotion. So how do you build emotional capacity? First, you practice feeling emotions in your body without immediately trying to fix or change them. This might mean sitting with anxiety for 60 seconds before taking action, or letting yourself cry without immediately reaching for food for comfort. Then second, you develop a toolkit of regulation practices that aren't food. This could be journaling, calling a friend, taking a bath, or going for a walk, for a run. Then third, you start to see emotions as information rather than emergencies. Anger might be telling you that a boundary was crossed. Sadness might be telling you that something matters to you. Anxiety might be telling you that you need more support. When you have emotional capacity, you can feel whatever comes up and still make conscious choices about food or anything at all, actually. Now, here's what you need to understand. These 3 pillars work together. You can't just focus on one and expect everything to change, or especially lasting change. If you have nervous system safety but no metabolic trust, you still struggle with cravings and energy cravings. If you have metabolic trust but no emotional capacity, you will still turn to food when life gets overwhelming. If you have emotional capacity but no nervous system safety, your body will still be operating from survival mode. But when all 3 pillars are in place, something magical happens. Your body starts to trust that it's safe. Your metabolism begins to heal and your emotional capacity expands. And suddenly, food freedom isn't something you have to work for every day. It's just how you naturally exist in the world. And this is what happened for me. Once I built this foundation, I stopped having to think about food all the time. I stopped having to use willpower to make good choices. I stopped having to start over every Monday. The woman I was becoming, the woman we talked about last week, finally had the foundation she needed to exist. So how you start building the overall foundation? Start with nervous system safety, because this is the most important pillar because it affects everything else. Begin eating consistently throughout the day, even if you're not perfectly hungry. Your body needs to know that food is available and abundant. Practice one regulation tool that isn't food. It could be simple as taking 3 breaths that I mentioned when you feel overwhelmed. And start to notice what in your life is keeping your nervous system activated. You don't have to fix everything at once, but awareness is always the first step. For metabolic trust, focus on eating enough and supporting your energy throughout the day. If you're constantly tired or craving sugar, your metabolism needs attention. For emotional capacity, start small. The next time you feel a difficult emotion, try sitting with it just for 20 to 30 seconds before taking any action. Notice what it feels like in your body without trying to change it. Remember, building this foundation takes time, so be patient with yourself and trust the process. Now, if you want to understand which of these pillars you need to focus on most, I created a quiz called What Type of Emotional Eater Are You? That will give you personalized insight and action steps into your specific patterns. You can take the quiz right now, the description or the link is in the description below. But next week we're getting specific about one of the biggest challenges I see women face, the Sunday night binge cycle. If you ever found yourself eating perfectly all week only to completely lose control during the weekend, next week's video is going to be a game changer. We're diving into how to break the Sunday night binge cycle for good in 2026, and I'm going to give you my exact method for stopping this pattern once and for all. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss it. And don't forget to grab your binge-free 2026 starter kit if you haven't already. It includes the foundation building exercises for all 3 pillars we talk about today. The link is in the description below. But before you go, I want to hear from you. In the comments, tell me, which of these 3 pillars do you think you need to work on the most? Nervous system safety, metabolic trust, or emotional capacity? Your answer will help me know what to focus on in future content. So with all that being said, I will see you next week for part 3, where we break the Sunday night binge cycle for good. Until then, remember, you don't need more willpower. You need a stronger foundation, and you're building it right now. So lots of love, and until then.